Energy. All right,
Yeah.
so what do we got going on with Living Energy?
All right, so the commander is Sahili, Radiant Creator, 1 in a green and a blue and a red for a 4/4. Whenever you cast an artifact or artifact spell, or artificer or artifact spell, there we go. That's what I was like, that doesn't make sense. You get 1 energy, and then at the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay 3 energy. When you do, create a token that's a copy of target permanent you control, except it's a 5/5 artifact creature in addition, and then you sacrifice it at your end step.
And it gains haste
So-
and all that too. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it can attack. It's a big beater. It's probably hitting like one of your ETBs a little bit. That's likely what's going on. So I kind of focused on artifacts and creating energy, and then everything else is just gonna kind of be there. Like, you're gonna get your ETB effects at that point. You don't want to really be legendary and copying them because it's just gonna sacrifice itself type thing. So let's see what I did.
All right. We got 18 budget upgrades.
Right.
Holy
and it's going to be a total of $8.50.
That's crazy. All right.
Yeah.
So,
energy are cheap cards.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying before. Like, if you want to go for this precon and just buy singles, because the energy cards tend to just tank. That's just what it is. So the first one I really like, this is from Modern Horizons precon, but Aether Refinery. Whenever you create 1 or more energy, create 1 more, and then you can also tap to make an energy.
well, it's not
really
even
make 2.
It's not even 1 more. It's just twice that many.
You get twice that many. Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Which is
it's
a little bit
ridiculous.
better, because if you get like
Yeah,
5,
a little
you
bit.
don't get 6. You get 10. So that's kind of
Yeah.
sweet. Yeah.
It's a ridiculous card.
Yeah.
And then you can tap to get 2 energy, and then you can pay energy to create an XX Black Aetherborn creature. And
So a
so
way
it's
to
just-
use it.
it's-
Yeah.
It's a creator. It's a payoff. It's doing a lot. It's 6 mana. It's not a bad card whatsoever. It's really cheap. And then you got Battery Bearer that's just tapping mana for artifact spells essentially, and then
It's also an artificer as well. So you'll get an energy from that.
yeah, totally did that on purpose. Then you got Chief Engineer.
Oh,
also
he's an artificer. Totally
Yep,
did that on
did not
purpose.
do that on purpose. But it's giving your artifact spells convoke, so that allows it just easier to pump artifacts out to get more energy and stuff like that.
Who knew
Just
that
Doria.
artificer was going to be so relevant in this?
Yeah, well, they messed up. I guess they didn't add any artificers in there, other than maybe some energy guys. But just Goria. So affinity for artifacts. It's like a 6/6 flying haste. Is that right? It's
Oh, sorry. Yeah. If I
5/4. No,
we're getting a lot of
6/4.
advertisements
I'm a
that are
liar.
popping up, and I want that out of there. Get that.
Yeah. And then whenever it attacks, you can exile the top 5 cards and then put an artifact into your hand, and you can cast it, and it has affinity for artifacts, so probably play it for free. But pretty cool in that regard. You got
Oh.
Crashing Drawbridge.
Your baby. Your baby.
Well, okay, I do love Crashing Drawbridge, but one thing that I did notice is that there's not a lot of artifact creatures. So there's artifacts, and then there's like artifact creatures creators. So like cards that will create Thopters and stuff like that. But in that regard, they also have like payoffs for like whenever an artifact creature deals damage, and that kind of plays into your commander. But I would want a little bit more support on the artifact creature front. That's kind of all I'm saying there.
Plus, is just a good card in general, because giving all your creatures haste. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a good card. You love this
Yeah.
card.
it's a good card.
Yeah.
And then another artificer, forensic gadgeteer. But whenever you cast an artifact, create a investigate, create a clue, and then your activated abilities of
Oh, yeah.
artifacts cost 1 less as well. But essentially, you're getting an energy and then also getting a clue, and it just draws you cards.
It makes your
and it moves you
clues
forward.
cost 1 less, so it's 1
Yeah.
instead of 2, which is really nice. Very nice.
Gonti's Aether Heart, you're casting artifacts. Why not get more energy out of it in an extra turn? Inspiring Statuary.
You love
I
that
did
card.
say that like there's a lot of non-artifact creatures in here, so it's a good split. And so if you're adjusting what's going on and you find that you've taken out more rocks, Inspiring Statuary is going to do wonders for you. So if most of your artifacts are tapping for mana, it's not that good.
Right, because then you're using it up. Yeah.
Right. Then it's just doing the same thing. It doesn't matter. Is it Genitorium? Gives more energy. Draw a card if you got an energy. Nice and cheap in that regard. Canine Mark 1.
Love this
artifact
card.
protection. Yeah, it's an artifact creature protection. It's a great card.
Yep.
Next one, Maria. You can tap your artifacts for a green and then also exiling a card off your top for 2 tapped non-token artifacts. So it's a little bit of card advantage, a lot of bit of mana ramp.
Right. Yep.
And this card's like 22 cents.
Nice.
It's quite good in this style of deck. Probably didn't have to add this one in, but Mirror and Spy, whenever you cast an artifact, untap target creature, you're gonna get some value out of that.
Well, I
just
mean,
don't know where.
I mean, if you're using it with this guy, you tap your artifact.
She doesn't tap though.
No, tap an
So you
untapped non-token artifact you control to give you 1 mana. When you
Right.
cast an artifact spell, untap target creature. So you can untap that creature that you just, what I'm saying?
I mean, if it's Crashing Drawbridge for sure, but it's any non-token artifact, so it can be like an equipment. It can be.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point too.
So that's where I find the most value with the equipment and stuff
Yep.
like that. But Nettlecyst, just give them that +1/+1 for each artifact and enchantment you control. So it was a 3 and a 2. Padim for some protection and for some draw. That might be there's 18 of them.
There's
Jesus.
even more of them after this.
Tezzeret, Betrayer of Flesh. It's just draw, discard. It's a lot of artifacts, synergies. Thought Monitor, ETB, drawing you 2 cards for 2/2 flyer when you're in an artifact deck.
All right, these
you
are the
have
last
Tune
2.
with Nature, getting you energy and a cantrip. And then you have Wheel of Potential, which is basically a wheel effect, but for energy, and you're getting some, you're paying it off. It's a pretty cool card.
All right, so what was the total for that?
$850.
That is budget upgrades right there.
Right. I think the most expensive one is the Chiskoria, and that's like 2 something. I just anything over that, I was like, put in Mr. Unlimited. We don't need 30 cards in this,
Right.
this part.
All right, so Mr. Unlimited.
Mr. Unlimited.
You have 11 cards here. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Ready?
Darksteel Forge artifacts. It's an artifact deck. Make them indestructible. Same thing with Heroic Intervention.
Protection.
Protect your stuff.
Yep.
Karn Legacy Reforged is just giving you a ton of mana in an artifact deck. Liberator is giving all your artifacts flash speed. And so that's something that'll work for you.
Ooh,
The
wow.
big hitter right here, 2 of
Whoa.
them. Right.
Yeah.
Metalworker, if you're in an artifact deck,
Yeah, you
and
play Metalworker.
you want to put out a
Which
little
is
bit.
silly.
Metalworker is a $100+ card, but it's tap, reveal any number of artifacts from your hand, and then add 2 colorless mana to your mana pool, and then
Yeah.
you just cast anything you want. Essentially, the biggest thing, so that you have more artifacts in your hand for the next turn. But the card's ridiculous. Bannable, maybe.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
If there was more of them out there, it's bannable, but it's a very good card. Mox Opal. I'm sorry if you don't have it before the unbanning in Modern. The card's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Yep. Works with.
Sensei's Divining Top is
Oh.
a great one just because it allows. Right. I understand that it's always good, but it's good here too because you can draw, and then when you draw it again, you just get more artifacts
really
to
quick.
play.
Did you see what I posted on Discord about Sensei's?
No, I don't read your stuff about Urza Saga.
Urza Saga, came across that. I just have to tell a little story with that. I didn't even think of that. Like, I'm like, oh, fuck. If you have Urza Saga out and you already have your Senseis and your Soul Ring, what do you do? And somebody had it and they didn't have anything else in their deck. I was like, oh, what you can do is tap Senseis, put it on top, draw a card. Urza's goes off, you get Senseis right back out. It's like drawing. It's so good, dude. Urza Saga.
Sacrifice a land to draw a card. You don't play those cards at all. That's a bad card.
It's so good. It's
It's
so good.
What you
Even-
explained to me
even when you
was
have
not
a-
something I wanted to do.
When you have a miss, which means you're already ahead because you have a Soul Ring out and a Sensei's out anyways,
You're
still
telling
aren't
me
missing.
bad card puts you in bad situation, and you want me to be like, oh wow, that's cool.
Oh,
Like that.
where's my button? I want to hit it so bad. Where's my get the fuck out? Wait, where is it? Where is it? One more.
Get the fuck out!
All right. And then one of your other babies. I think we have more after this.
Spellskite.
Spellskite.
Artifact creature, great protection,
Yeah.
always in blue.
Yeah.
And with it being artifact theme, it's fantastic.
Hey, we just gave this card away to Tad here, right there.
Did you lucky son of a
Ah.
friend? I don't know. The Great Henge. It's a huge artifact. It's going to come down cheaper.
I was wondering if you're gonna have.
And it does everything good.
I was
Urza
wondering if you
Saga,
had-
tapping artifacts from
What?
mana.
What is it? Urza Saga? You said Urza.
Urza's Lord High Artificer.
You said Urza Saga.
I did, and that'd be wrong, and that should not be in this deck. Don't do that.
I was wondering if you'd have this. Yeah, for sure. In the Mr. Unlimited part,
Yeah.
Urza's Lord
Yeah.
High Artificer. Doesn't it? We always say that, but it feels like it should be High Lord Artificer, but Lord High.
That's
whatever.
what I said the first time.
Yeah, it's just.
When I was like, "Hi, Lord," and
Oh,
then
and one more.
Vidalcan Archmage. It is drawing a card off of casting artifacts.
Sweet.
So.
Yeah. All right. I like it, Lowry. Like I don't even have any ads because this was the only one I was thinking of when you had showed the budget one with the tapping for green. I was like, oh, you
Yeah.
better have Lord High in there as well. So
Yeah, and if you have to, I think Marina, I don't know, the green red one. That's like a bad version of Urza.
Mhm.
If that like super budget version, and Urza, I think gets a bad rap, but it's a great ramp card for blue.
Mhm.
So
For sure.
go for it.
Hey Meat Force, could you kindly tap the like and subscribe button? And if you're ever in the mood, head on over to CommanderSmiths.com and you can get the shirts and mugs you see on the screen and some other stuff. Thank you.